Well, good afternoon, and thank you. This is July 7th, 2025, and this is the General Services Public Works Committee meeting for the City of Coeur d'Alene. I'm Councilmember Kenny Gabriel, and I'm joined by Council President English and Councilmember Christy Wood. First on the agenda is approval of amendments to the Records Retention Manual, staff report by Renata McLeod.
Good afternoon. Mine's a pretty straightforward item. The state code requires us to have a records retention manual, and within that manual, we have several records custodians, one for each department that kind of helps manage that overall. I am the lead records retention person for the city, but each department has to have somebody kind of monitoring their own records. So we've had some change out in staffing, and so we had to update our list. So this is the updated list just to go into our manual for the record. So housekeeping matter.
Thank you. Any questions?
No, sir.
Well, then I'd be happy to make a motion to recommend that council approve amendments to the Records Retention Manual.
Second.
Any discussion? None. There we go, one down.
All in favor?
All in favor, thank you. Aye.
Aye.
There, swap my hand out. That was a mess right there. And
It'll catch on.
I believe you can put that on the consent calendar.
Yes.
Okay, moving along, item number 2, approval of professional services contract with Dow, DOWL, for Rivers Edge PUD Traffic Mitigation Plan. Mr. Bosley, our city engineer.
Thank you, council members, for having me before you today. I am here to request approval of a contract with Dowell Engineers for a traffic mitigation plan for Celtice Way. This was a requirement of the Lance Douglas development, Rivers Edge, when he got a PUD modification to add more multifamily homes or structures along the waterfront rather than single family. This was one of the conditions of approval, and we are getting around to getting this into a contract form. Dowell Engineers is on the city's short list or on-call list for engineers and surveyors and for the category of traffic engineering. So I chose them for this out of the 4 or 5 that we had in that. And they put together the scope of work. I met with Lance Douglas early on, and then he has been involved in the emails, so he knows what the contract looks like, what's going to be included. The way that it is going to work, once that it's approved, is Dowell will do the work, send the bills to the city will pay, and then Lance Douglas will reimburse the city. And that was a request of Dowell Engineers because they weren't comfortable contracting specifically with a developer. So this is the way they've done it in the past. So with that, I would stand for any questions.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Chris, I haven't perused the contract as closely as I need to. Is that language in here, what you just said, that we will get the bill and send it to Mr. Douglas?
I don't know if that is in there, but this contract is with us and Dowell, not with, we will pay Dowell.
We will.
Yes. Lance Douglas will have to reimburse us.
Do we have that in writing anywhere? I guess I should be asking Randy and Troy.
That is in the development agreement.
Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
Well, I would just make comment this because, just a few months ago, I swapped places from being on Ignite CDA to, being the library liaison. And that whole thing was a lot of, back and forth and very careful thought and lots of input, and I think very tuned into, community needs and balancing things, and, the fact of, potential for more housing versus, single family and all of that. So this certainly strikes me as a good balance, and I would support it.
Great. With that, I'll be looking for a motion, please.
Go ahead, Dan.
Okay, then make a motion to recommend that council approve the professional service agreement with DOWL for the Rivers Edge PUD Traffic Mitigation Plan.
Second, and Mr. Chair, I do have a request from Councilmember Gookin to actually put this on the regular agenda so he can follow up with questions as well.
Makes
Great.
sense.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye opposed? None? All right, we will place this on the agenda. And how about a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
You can do that one. Second.
Motion been moved and second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you very much. Have a great, safe day.
12:08 or 9, okay.
Thank you, Kenny. I,